15. What did you do? What were your hopes? What were your dreams? What were your fears? Me, when I was 15, I can think back to, playing basketball with my brother, playing video games at home, joking with my sister and my family. I feel like my dad used to tell us that, they would fight in Asmara with other kids, or he would even say they would throw rocks at baboons. I don't know how true that is. But yes, for some it is true. But you think about your life at 15, and you think about all the hopes and optimistic future that you look forward to for the rest of your life. You think about the dreams that you had and what you're going to do maybe when you're 18, when you're 21, when you're 30, when you can get married, when you can have kids. But unfortunately for Ciham Ali, right, we know that this is not the reality for her. When she was 15 years old, she was summarily detained at the Eritrean border, and no one has heard or seen from her since. For the last 7 years, she has been in incommunicado detention, in a secret prison without access to her friends, her family. And so again, think back to what your life was like when you were 15. No matter what struggles we had, all of us, we can think about the positivity that any child has. And for Ciham, it's within the walls of a prison. It's caged there. It's unable to get out. And so from 15 to 22, Ciham's life, right, has been stalled. Ciham is the perfect personification of Eritrea. It is a future that has been stalled. It is a future that has been stagnated. It is a promise that has not been able to be fulfilled. And so in looking at Ciham, we can think about, well, what can we envision for the future of Eritrea? We can think about what needs to happen for this one individual. And when this thing happens for this one individual, well then, yeah, maybe it can happen for 100 individuals. Maybe it can happen for 1,000 people who are unjustly imprisoned. Maybe it can happen for the whole country, which is also in a prison.
It is happening.
Yes.
A lot of people.
Yes, for thousands of people. The case of Ciham, I think, is very important also for ourselves as Eritrean Americans, because Ciham herself was born in LA. And for you guys, right, as parents, as people who are either immigrated from Eritrea or have been here for a long time, you know that with first generation people that there's a disconnect between themselves and in Eritrea. We can even see how much people turned out for what, rightfully so, for Nipsey Hussle and his funeral. You can see how the whole world came together and galvanized for Nipsey and in celebrating his life, which was taken too short.
Rest in peace.
Right? Rest in peace, exactly. Yet, for some reason, we have another life which is not being able to be lived out. And yet, people who are in my generation do not feel, maybe they don't know it, that this is happening to Ciham, but they don't feel that connection. So that's our duty, right? Our duty is to let everyone know what is happening to this child. What if it were in America, we would not tolerate this for an adult, let alone a child.
Exactly.
Right? We would not allow this to happen. And so for Ciham, we have to come together. We have to let all of the young people know. I use young in the Eritrean sense. Anyone under 45? Anyone under 45? You have to let them know about her case. And you have to tell them all the time what is happening. Because if you can get them at least involved in this case, right, which the Happy Birthday Ciham, the hashtag Happy Birthday Ciham campaign is global. It's online, it's social media. Everyone is doing this, right? Whether they're doing it in Ethiopia, in Sudan, in Europe, here in America, Canada, everyone is doing it so you can let people know what's happening. You can let them know to get involved. They don't need to be able to speak Tigrinya perfectly. They don't need to be able to know about what happened in Eritrea in 1991 and 1977, right? They don't need to know the whole history. But we can know that what is happening to this one person is not just. And we can come together on that. And I ask people who have, rightfully fought for their entire lives, for the liberation of Eritrea, for human rights and justice in Eritrea, the next step now is to be able to connect it, I think, with this case. I think this case is going to be able to really be able to rally, the first generation folk like myself. So what we want to do with this campaign, again, as I said, is to all rally around for Ciham and celebrate happy birthday for her, because the last 7 years, she has not been able to celebrate one birthday, right? She has had 7 birthdays languish in a prison, 7 birthdays missed. And maybe, who knows, if she weren't black, Muslim, a woman, maybe, I can't imagine this happening to any other American citizen, okay? I cannot imagine it happening, yet it is the reality that we face with her. And so, for Ciham, I say that today we're going to do this whole happy birthday thing. And so, myself, with a broken tongue, I say Yaakov, and with a broken spirit, but still resilient, I'm going to say happy birthday to Ciham. What we'll do is, everyone has the flyer, or if you don't have a flyer, we can try to come around here as much as possible. Maybe we have to move.
በስመ አብ ወወልድ ወመንፈስ ቅዱስ አሐዱ አምላክ በስመ አብ ወወልድ ወመንፈስ ቅዱስ አሐዱ አምላክ በስመ አብ ወወልድ ወመንፈስ ቅዱስ አሐዱ አምላክ ንዓኻ ኣብ ምሕረት የርየና እግዚአብሔር አሜን።
Okay, so someone with a lovely voice that they want to start.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Ciham. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, yeah.